Don't buy a lab-grown diamond before you know these three things. First, what will it cost? I'm going to go over what it should cost you for the most popular lab-grown diamonds today. The second is, what should I buy? I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to buy so you don't screw it up. And lastly, who can I trust? We have something that you can take anywhere so that you can trust somebody. So we're going to start with, what should I buy? The most popular lab-grown diamond today is about a 3-carat round. Now, of course, there's all different shapes and sizes, but a 3-carat round happens to be the most popular. Now, you've heard of the 4 C's. The first C is carat weight. That would be a 3-carat. So we'll cut that one out. The next one is going to be the cut, then the color, then the clarity. Now, which one of those three do you think's the least important? Believe it or not, it's the one so many people focus on. It's the clarity. The clarity is the least important. Why do I say that? Because a VVS stands for very, very slight. VS stands for very slight, and SI stands for slight. All of those, typically, you can't see any visible inclusions unless you put it under a microscope. And you're not getting a microscope when you buy the diamond. You're putting it on her hand. It's never going to go under a microscope again. If you go with a VVS, it will cost you more than, say, a VS. But with the naked eye, you can't tell the difference. In other words, it's flawless to the naked eye. So the first one is clarity. Focus on what you can see. If you can't see anything and it's clean to the naked eye, that's where you should be. I tell people to stay in the VS range, which stands for very slight. If you happen to get a really good deal on a VVS, then buy it. That's fine. But an I1 is the lower grade. I1, I like to think of an I1 as I can see the inclusion with my eye. That's like an I1. I1s, then they have an I2, and they have an I3, then they have a D Class A. A D Class A is what they used to grind up for industrial use, for tools and equipment. All right, so let's go on to cut. To me, a cut is probably the most important, because if the diamond is cut properly, it's going to reflect the best amount of light back to you. So the goal is, you want the diamond ring to be sparkling, and when she's walking across the street, you're like, oh my God, can you see her ring? You know, that's what you want. You want something that really pops. So they say an ideal cut. Another way to call it is a triple X. Excellent cut, excellent symmetry, and excellent polish. You're going to get that with lab-grown diamonds on almost all of them. They try to cut them as good as humanly possible because they're competing with natural diamonds. So they want you to buy a lab-grown diamond, and so they cut them very, very well. Just make sure it comes with a certificate and it tells what cut the stone is. Is the cut an ideal cut, or a triple X, or a hearts and arrows? Anything like that is considered an ideal cut. It's excellent. Okay, so then the last one is color. Think of it like a diamond reflects a rainbow of colors. It reflects all the colors in the universe. So the whiter the diamond is, the more true reflection of colors you'll get. So if it's a D, D is the highest. Now, it used to be A, B, and C. And when GIA came out with their grading report, they didn't want to confuse people with A, B, and C. So they started with D. D, E, and F are completely colorless. But if you buy a D, it will cost you more than an E or an F. Now, if they're all colorless, then does it really matter? I tell people, typically, my choice is to go with an E, because you don't have to get a D. If you get a great deal and it's a D, great, buy it. That's fine. But an E or an F are fantastic. A G is also really, really good. And in fact, my wife's diamond is a G color. It's a natural diamond, and it's a G color. It's very, very white. Now, your second grade down is D, E, and F are completely colorless. The next grade down is near colorless, and that's G, H, I, and J. If you're going with a lab-grown diamond, get as white as possible. D, E, or F. All right, so the next question I hear a lot is, what should it cost? This is really going to shock you. We just saw on the Today Show, they were talking about a 3-carat lab grown diamond should cost you about $9,200. That was absolute bull. It is way, way cheaper than that. A 3-carat round lab grown diamond, that's a DE or F, a VS, or maybe even a VVS, should cost you between $2,000 and at the most $3,000. And it could be an ideal cut on top of it. Do not spend over $3,000. I am telling you right now, you can get 1,000 stones for under $3,000. Realistically, you're probably closer to $2,000 or $2,500. So as a recap, a 3-carat lab-grown diamond, VS quality, ideal cut, DE or F color, $2,500. That's your good milestone. Don't spend over $3,000. It could be a name brand. It could be a special cut. It's a bunch of crap. You're buying a diamond, and if you took it to a gemologist, that's all it's going to appraise for. It's not going to appraise because they said theirs is a special cut, or theirs is this, theirs is that. It's a scam. So now the last one, who can I trust? All right, this is wonderful. All right, I have a diamond buying guide that you can fill out. I have my recommendations listed on the diamond buying guide. Terry recommends a VS or a VVS or a DERF and the size. And you fill out what you want, not what I recommend. But you can fill out what you want, and we can say, all right, there are 500 diamonds at our fingertips in that category that you're looking for. And this is the average price. All right. And then if you said, well, look, can I see that diamond? You can see the diamond. You can see the GIA or IGI report on the diamond. Everything about it. It could be a E color, VVS2, ideal cut, and it's $2,300, just for an example. Now, we give you that information. Now the question is, who can you trust? You can take that information with you anywhere, to any jeweler that you want to go to. And before you walk in the door, you already know you can get a 3-carat that's going to cost you about $2,300. Now, if they come back and say, oh, well, they don't know what they're talking about. Actually, we do know what we're talking about. And we back it up by saying we guarantee that price. If you can't find it for the price that we're telling you, we honor the price. And if you buy it from us, we give you 20% off on the setting and do all the work, setting the stone and everything else for free. So I'm not trying to get your business. I'm trying to let you go and make sure you get the best deal anywhere. If you can find this diamond in the range that I just gave you, a 3-carat DERF VVS, and it's $2,000 or $1,800, you know you did well. That's the point. The goal is that you do well. Good luck shopping. Let me know if I can help. Bye-bye.